5 negative tags in the same seed. With Anaglyph deck we can double stack each one, but there is a catch. Everything goes wrong. So we have 5 different negative tags and Anaglyph deck, so just imagine all the blueprints we can stack in this seed and all the madness we can do. We just casually start with a negative blueprint in the first pack, and natural negatives by far the hardest thing to find. But negative tags as well, I've never seen 5 in a seed, 2 or 3 maybe at best. But it's still quite tricky to set that up to land an actual useful joker for something that we want. The first one is already in ante 2. We don't have a lot of double tags now, but we can still start with another 2 negatives very early on. And instantly we have a problem, because the original plan here was glass joker, break as many cards as possible. And we were supposed to land a glass joker now, but he does not exist. Greedy joker is fine for some score, and cool edge shield lucador is amazing for if we run into a boss that we struggle with. But I don't want to sell a negative, I want to keep him as long as possible, so is he just as useless as he is cool? And the next problem, way more common than it should be, but when you're gambling super hard on setting up a very specific thing, exploding in ante 3 is actually not that uncommon. So here I am, a simple caveman with documents and web pages all over my other 2 screens, and I don't pay attention to the game at all, even though it is fairly important. To really maximize this, we have to skip every round that gives us a double tag. And we also have to hunt for as many colas as possible, which will require about 7 billion Balatro dollars. And as always, we need to find a way to score so we can actually make it as far as possible in this and find all the negative tags. With a little bit of deck fixing and the blueprint photo, we should be fine for now. Another problem in this run was the voucher, so the blank one is fine, it's going to pay off. But I've never had a run where I find the vouchers in such a backwards order that it makes everything a lot harder. Of course, we also have a legendary, exactly the one we want, but he's not negative, so he doesn't really fit the run. Getting everything to be negative would be impossible unless we can print an ectoplasm with the Sixth Sense guy, or just play ghost deck so we can clone them. So you can get your bets in now. How many ectoplasms do we find in this run? And how many of them, if any, are actually useful? Landing a Dusk was very nice as well, because reactivating cards, very powerful. But the hack discriminates against any card higher than 5, and the sock only counts face cards, everything else is garbage. Now all we have to do is wait for Dusk, gamble on the last hand, the only one that matters. And it will either land us a glorious score carrying us to victory, or it will be terrible and we will lose because we have no more hands to play. So it's a 50-50 chance of being useful according to caveman math. At this stage we have the next problem. We have a negative tag in ante 6 and we have 1 in ante 7. So we can use the double tags now and get just 1 extra for 7, or we can skip and get more in ante 7. But if we choose to live with only having 2 tags in ante 7, we can slam 7 of them in now and we get 1 more in total. And of course, more negatives is more good. But first we have to throw away the 2 most useful jokers I have for score. Because Dusk and Photo will still be useful, we can land the negative versions of those 2 now. Since I don't have a showman, I have to sell the old one first. Or we could have just gambled on whatever random joker they would have been otherwise. We get Chaos for 1 free reroll and Vagabond if I ever want to play the poor man's hand again. Then I chose to carry the last tag over to ante 8, since we always have to skip when we pick up a negative tag. If we have multiples or we don't have a joker up first in the shop, we can carry it over and gamble on something maybe better. So do you want to just gamble, or do you want to gamble with your gambling while you do some extra gambling, hoping to find something that will be any kind of useful? So the loyalty card that we landed is actually useful as well, it just requires timing. And we also have a cola, so we get 1 extra negative here. Colas was also a massive problem, where in other runs I've had so many colas that I've landed more double tags than I have by playing Anaglyph and skipping 4 tags. And of course we have to actually skip the negative tag and not play the round good stuff. The chances of landing something amazing from a judgment card are also low, but never zero, so we get a showman for free. And since he is always an eternal problem, when do we want him, when do we throw him away for something better? Now at least we have him, but we don't have a negative version, so he will still have to be juggled at some point. Golden ticket can be amazing. Again, I'm hoping to land a load of blueprints so we can just supercharge that and play golden cards and get all the money in the universe. So DNA is a nice fit, we can make more golden cards. The problem of course being that I have exactly one blueprint. It's not really a big boost for now. And a blessed banana. Everything is going wrong in this round, so if we bring a nice reliable banana, unreliable because it will explode, we have the potential for a cooler banana in the future, and we might need that to survive. We do also double our blueprint count, and we add yet another voucher that is flooding the shop with cards. So this is 100% the reason why it's hard to find jokers, because there's just so many other cards in between. But again, if I don't grab the vouchers, I risk just seeing the same one for a very long time. So if we want the good vouchers, we also have to pick up the ones that are not optimal for this run. And surprise, that is another voucher for more planet cards. I'm never gonna find another joker again. On the plus side, we do have another cola, so if I'm really going for just a massive stack of negatives, that's the guy we need. Now if only we could clone him 5 billion times before we sell him. Omen Globe finally delivers an ectoplasm, but there is exactly, as always, one place it can land. In this case I have 2 of the regular banana, which I've never had before. They tend to explode too fast. But not this guy. This guy has lived long enough to become a fully negative rotten banana. Now it didn't really have that many options for it to land on this time, but why is it always the one joker that I absolutely do not want to make negative? This guy is perishable as well, so we are going to lose him. So we're making negative jokers in the sense that they are just disappearing instead. The collection shrinks. Next up we have the most perfectly timed Baron of all time. We pick him up and we instantly run into the plant. And I also have to sell my negative son to beat the boss. Hit subscribe if you want to see more things go horribly wrong. So now we've lost 2 jokers instead in the run where I'm trying to build the biggest stack of jokers that I can. On the plus side, we finally land a good voucher and a banana. Nice. A nice and easy abuse of the serpent for a free pass and a lot of planets. So I have 37 consumable slots. That is, as far as I know, a bug with Saturn, which is a mod that stacks consumables in one pile among other things. And then we add even more planet cards. We find a brainstorm. We do a bit of deck fixing for the now probably immortal Baron, because we've already seen the plant, so he is now unstoppable. We can go down an ante, which is perfect. Less ante is more good. We get 1 whole extra double tag, wow. And finally everything is coming up. Negative joker stack of whatever we are pushing this time. An actual amazing voucher. A nice solid cryptid, and in ante 15 we finally have 3 card slots in the shop. And then we have everything is debuffed. Again, have we not seen this already? No, that was the plant. Where am I again? Is this poker hell? It can't be, because now we have arrived at the glorious negative stacking time. And since we have the option to go down an ante again now, we can land the negative tags in ante 17, or we can go down to 16. We got the good old self-destructing ice cream, a steel man, which might actually be useful, and a bus for my strictly face card deck. Then we have a bean, so already 2 perishable negative jokers. The Troubadour is useful at least. More hand size is more good with Baron setups.
6.5 hours later.
But that was really just a haul of strictly garbage, so we can use the bean because we want the hand size. But it's almost impossible to land a worse haul in ante 17. 2 multiplier if we play a club and something else, and a cool ghost hand. Mr. Blue Balls, Gluttonous Joker, another superposition. So if this ante is also bad, the good news is that because we have so many cards in the shop, we can likely skip in ante 17. The mime, of course, is immune to the negative tag because with all the vouchers we have, he's a fancy man and he's covered himself in a thin layer of foil. So there was one solid joker in here for the run that we are doing. We wanted to land him, making negative. We had 13 tags and he is the only one who's immune to the tag. Perfect, so what is the next thing that can go horribly wrong? Or go horribly right, is that an option? Does it have to go horribly wrong? A natural disco queen, fantastic. We don't need to grow one in a lab, we don't need to get Mr. Sixth Sense in here and try to print 7 million auras where one of them might land polychrome. Playing card voucher, sure, I don't know what you expected, but it's the only logical choice.
2,000 years later.
We're back in ante 20 with many tags, but I think we actually have less jokers now, so something more went wrong, I don't even know what. But the madman approach says if ante 16, 17, 18, 19 were all terrible for jokers, what about 20 and up? We have so many tags, we must be able to land something of value. With so many cards in the shop, we can basically carry the tags to whatever ante we want and never land a joker without re-rolling. But why would we start landing things we want now? The Troubadour again is dodging the negative tag. Him and Showman would have been excellent. With 19 tags, 2 sounds like a reasonable number to land. Instead we land just the random stuff, boosting us straight. Mr. Even Numbers who hates all the odd numbers. But we're playing kings, so either one of those is irrelevant. Lucador is back if I want to sacrifice my son again, but we will also just have less jokers. This is not the plan. Swashbuckler adding 93 multiplier is not relevant this late in the game, but it's still a cool number. Burglar to play more hands would have been amazing if I cared about playing more hands and if I had more than 2 or 3 blueprints to activate him with. Shoot the moon, more multiplier for queens in hand. We don't have a single queen, we might have one. Another photograph actually will do something. And not Andy, but we're getting legendary Jimbo back in here again. A gift card so we can increase the value of our trash by $1 per round. And the baseball man might be the best thing we have seen because with so many jokers, not anywhere near as many as I had hoped, we do have 9 uncommon dudes that will multiply Baseball Man into some kind of number. Score is a lot easier with all the cryptids. Sixth Sense did actually deliver, and now in 21 surely we have a good haul. Fortune Teller at 247 multiplier is again not relevant this late, and you always need to have a splash apparently. The ice cream is also completely unavoidable. Wherever I go, this thing haunts me, and the perishable jokers are of course the best negatives you can find. I especially like the credit card because there is a real chance that I roll away all my cash in the shop, but if we have to dip down into negative 20 bucks, things have really gone horribly wrong. But that would also be a negative number, so it is kind of on point. That voucher is not more playing cards, it's just better cards, so praise be to the ice cream Jesus that have blessed us with something useful. And we dodge a second credit card. I thought the strategy was to just stack them. More credit cards is more good. You can infinitely buy stuff and never pay. Negative egg is cool. It's not perishable, which is nice, but it's also way too late to scale up any cash on the egg boy. We are too rich to care about that kind of interest, and double perishable. That's it, I'm buying a lottery ticket. This is the luckiest day I've ever had. And another Jimbo. He's at least not going to just explode and disappear, but we are really just grabbing less jokers is the only thing I'm managing to do here. So we just put all our hope on ante 24 to deliver a miracle. This is the payoff after all the hard work, the 2 last negative tags. When we built an enormous castle joker, we had 43 jokers in our stack without really even trying. And here with the deck and seed tailored specifically for many tags, all the jokers disappear, so we land on 36. If you want more Balatro madness, here is a video you might like. Thank you for watching.